Gentleman who would like to chime in on this, and I've explained to him again a lot of the issues that are facing men and boys these days, and this gentleman is willing to say
that I agree completely. It ain't right half the stuff, a lot of the stuff.
Thank you, sir, for your 2 cents worth. Thank you ever so much. I appreciate it. Approximately 5:15 on Friday afternoon here. Or 5:15 or 7:15? I think
7:15.
It's 7:15. Yeah, he's still on Alberta time. But I've ran across a citizen from Alberta, and I've shown and talked to him a little bit about the posters I'm putting up for men's rights. And he is a Canadian citizen, and I'd just like to ask him what he thinks about what we should be doing and what the government should be doing about men's rights.
I believe men should have a right and a say as well as women. It's not all about the women, it's about men too. We're all together in this world as one, so there's no difference.
How about you, ma'am? You want to say something about men's rights? Do you agree that men should have equal rights?
I completely agree. They're no different.
And should they be treated, the same in the courts? And,
Oh, absolutely.
All right, thank you ever so much. This is a wonderful couple from, I'm guessing, from Alberta, just visiting, or at least one of them is, and I really appreciate your input. Have a great day. Another gentleman, it's Saturday the 18th, and I've explained the men's rights issues to him, and he would like to tell the Premier and the Prime Minister a little something about those issues.
I believe that men are overlooked just for being men. They don't get a fair chance, and often overlooked due to the fact of just being a male. Females have definite advantage in decision making just because they're females.
And you're a Canadian citizen and an Ontario voter, right?
I'm definitely a Canadian citizen, proud one, and this is an issue that needs to be addressed.
Thank you ever so much. You have a wonderful weekend. 18th, I'm talking to a gentleman who has seen the poster, and I talked to him a little bit about things and the issues that are listed on the poster, and this is what he has to say to the Ontario Premier and the Prime Minister of Canada about how men are being treated in these days.
Hi, I'm a Dundas resident, and I believe that men are not being fairly represented and treated in their court system in divorce situations.
And what do you think about the fact that fathers only receive primary custody of their children less than 10% of the time?
I don't think that's right.
What do you think about 80% of the fact that 80% of all suicides are men? What kind of services do you think that men are being offered so that number is so high?
I can't answer on that one. I've never really looked into that.
Okay, understandable. What do you think about the fact that 90% of all homeless are men? Don't you think that, we should have a 50-50 situation there? There should be enough services provided so that it is a 50-50% situation?
Again, I want to read into a little more on that before I would hazard a comment.
Okay, I understand that. But thank you ever so much, sir. You have a wonderful weekend, and it was a pleasure talking. Saturday the 18th, downtown Dundas Cactus Festival. I'm speaking to an Ontario voter, and this is what he has to say about how he feels that men should be treated.
I do believe that with our criminal justice system in Ontario, as well as with situations of domestic violence against men, that it should be an even playing field with all parties being treated equally, especially men.
Thank you ever so much. You have a wonderful day. Saturday the 18th, talking to another Canadian citizen, a voting citizen, and this is his views on what he feels how men should be treated by all levels of government.
Men should be treated with dignity and respect from...
And equally?
And there's no reason for women to get more benefits than the men do.
Great. Thank you so much, sir. You have a wonderful weekend. Yeah, you too. It's the 18th. Here I am again talking to another citizen, a Canadian voter, and this is what he has to say about the flyer and the issues I've discussed with him.
I am an Ontario voter, and I think everyone should be treated equally, men and women. Thank you.
Thank you ever so much, sir. You have a wonderful weekend. Saturday the 18th, down at the Cactus Festival, I ran into two gentlemen who I've pointed the flyers out to, and this is what they have to say about how the government should be equally treating men and women.
Equal rights should be just that, equal. If you give one to one side, you need to give it to the other side. Equal means equal, not 500 shelters for women and 0 for men.
Abuse, when it's done to both sides, is just as abusive to one side as the other. It shouldn't be characterized as women are being completely abused and men are always the abusers and therefore don't require any respect. If men are being abused, they require the exact same rights that women have, regardless of sex, as it says in our Bill of Rights and Charter. And I'm pretty sure the UN says something similar. Yes, Canada is a signatory nation of the UN resolution on ending discrimination. Thanks a lot, guys. You have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy talking to another citizen on the street, and I've explained men's issues to him. He's looking at the flyer, and this is his message to the government. He is a voting citizen.
I do vote. I think it's important that every member of Canada, male or female, gets representation, and any kind of disparate representation according to gender is unfair. We hear a lot about women's rights, and that's a lot. There's a lot there to think about, but an issue that does seem to really need a lot of attention as well as men's rights, and I'd like to see the government do a little bit more about that.
Thank you very much, sir. You have a wonderful weekend. Again, here we go. We got another couple of young gentlemen here, and they're Ontario voters, and this is what they got to say about equality that's going on in Canada.
Oh, we need the same rights and everything as all the women fucking getting all the good shit, and we're losing out.
How about you there, sir?
I feel the same way. Need to change this around and help us out.
All right, thank you ever so much, guys. I really appreciate it. Have yourself a wonderful weekend. Speaking to another young gentleman about equal rights for men, and he is a voting citizen of Canada, and here's what he's got to say and his message to the Premier and whatnot.
I'm a 28-year-old male and find that the rights for men have been dismissed against the rights of the women having. Yeah, I absolutely believe in the equal rights, and what's going on with the domestic violence for men is basically a non-issue, it seems. Whereas for women, like you said, how many shelters for women are there?
593 shelters, not one for men.
593 shelters for women, and 0 for men. It doesn't make any sense.
Thank you very much, sir. You have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy the Cactus Festival. 18th, I'm talking to a couple here, and this is what they got to say about how men should be treated.
I'm a Canadian citizen. I think men should be treated equally.
And we even have an American here, and this is also going on in America as well.
I'm surprised at these statistics. I wouldn't have expected it. You hear about the abuse of women, but I think this is a very little-known aspect of our society.
Thank you ever so much, folks. You have a wonderful weekend. I really appreciate it.
You too.
Okay, it's a little later on in the evening. It's Saturday the 18th, and I'm speaking to a gentleman who took a slight interest in my posters, and this is what he has to tell the Ontario government and the provincial or the federal government as well on what he feels how men should be treated.
I'm an Ontario voter, and I believe that men should be treated equally. As equal as women or any other race or anything going.
Any other demographic.
Any other demographic, yes. They should be treated the same as anybody else, right across the board.
Thank you ever so much, sir. You have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you. You too.
Bye-bye. Who wants to chime in, an Ontario voter, and this is what he has to say about how men should be treated.
They should be treated equally, and I'm an Ontario voter.
Thank you ever so much.